Hey, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for daily videos on everything going on in cryptocurrency. Let's take a deep dive into play-to-earn NFT Metaverse game Ertha, a new dynamic NFT Metaverse game on Binance Smart Chain. We're going to start off big picture, and then we'll get into in-game specifics so you can truly understand what this game's about. After you watch this overview video, perhaps you will be interested in participating and playing Ertha. So, big picture, what is it? Ertha is a play-to-earn NFT metaverse game like a Decentraland, where you can own plots of land and earn revenue on that land in perpetuity. In this case, Ertha tokens. So this is a play-to-earn game. The more you play, the more opportunity you have to earn. We'll get into specifics in just a little bit. The Ertha Metaverse, as in like the lore, or maybe more like the atmosphere, is like a Heroes of Might or a Magic type game where you build your own social and economic empires. Ertha, built on Binance Smart Chain, as I said, for cheap, easy gameplay inclusive of all wallet sizes. Ertha's globe consists of 350,000 hex land plots, represented as NFTs. The game is designed to replicate a real-life environment, simulating the actions that people have to perform in order to earn a living. So this is what the Ertha globe looks like. You can do a 360 view all around the world. You can see the land available. You can zoom in for a closer look and see the land available. Very cool. As you can see, the land, it all starts off very similar to the world, to the map that we're familiar with in real life. But because the game is dynamic, as people play the game, territories can change, which is kind of cool as you go to war or do different stuff inside the game. This is Ertha's land ownership for Europe, specifically, as an example. As mentioned, country borders are volatile. You find resources, you find quests, you find interesting opportunities, you find jobs via this map, you explore, you find various points of interests, you find other players to either compete or cooperate with, which is pretty cool. And then this is what you get when you're first starting out. Every player has their own home or residence. The first residence is provided to you for free to every player. The residence is the safest place for every player. Players cannot be assaulted while staying in their own residence. Additional residences can be bought and placed in any free plot of land, or they can be rented from other players while traveling. Residences provide bonuses to the players, like faster energy and health regeneration, stuff like that. Residences can be upgraded and furnished, which impacts how they are visualized in the game. It is one more way for a player to show off his or her social status in Ertha. It's like an Animal Crossing. So this is an example of a grid view of a player's residence, or what the town would look like. You can see there are markets, there are companies, farms, warehouses, there are sometimes airports. You'll be able to find shortcuts to ongoing missions in places like this, among other things. This is a building view of a work business. Working is an essential part of the production process, and this is kind of what makes the game interesting, in my opinion. How you can generate work as if this were real life. Well, you'll see. So every employer in the game needs to find a labor force which is skilled enough to utilize factory machinery efficiently. A labor force can be used by employing other players using job contracts. A job contract is an agreement that allows a business owner and employee to exchange energy for money. Job contract has a number of criteria: contract type, duration, skill requirements, salary, fine, etc. So the job key points is working consumes energy. There are different types of job contracts. There are skilled requirements for every job. Job contracts are enforced with penalties. Taking a job requires traveling to that job location. Working improves the skills used on the job. Very interesting. Very cool. Also very cool, you can wage war in this game. So war enables a country and its citizens to achieve their goals on a global scale. inequity and scarce resources. Territorial disputes are among the main causes of international conflicts. An aggregator country tries to conquer additional territory to increase its political and economic power in the region, gain access to additional natural resources, extra company construction sites, etc. Wars can also happen just for the sake of it because, people are people. Earthians have full control over all international rivalry and have an ability to initiate wars as soon as their country becomes eligible for that. Every border in Ertha are a far more volatile subject in comparison to the real world as we know it. So obviously wars are going to happen much more in this place than in the real world. Or is there? Probably. Anyways, the key points are that country borders are volatile. All citizens can participate in war. Resources and additional construction sites instigate wars' typography. Whole countries can be overtaken. Wars happen for a fixed period of time through a series of smaller fights. Let's talk politics. Politically oriented players have the ability to become rulers of their country for a fixed period of time. In the case of anarchy, they create gangs. In the case of democracy, political parties. Their reputation, track record as a businessman, warrior, or scientist, and organizational skills will play a major role in achieving the position in parliament, becoming a minister, or even a president. When in positions of power, players have a responsibility for a successful money collection and its wise distribution. Budget plays an essential role when controlling the direction of a country's industry development, managing crime rate, or even restricting migration. In general, politicians will be able to turn the energy expenditures of the citizens in the desired direction. It is a hard venture to live through, so only those who are talented, skillful, and patient enough will endure this process. Veni vidi vici, Ertha citizens, maybe this is you we're talking about. Maybe you prefer to just be a regular guy. Anyways, the political key points are that there are different forms of government. In democracy, citizens elect representatives to rule their country. Politicians are responsible for taxation policy application. Politicians are responsible for countries' budget money distribution and small country energy expenditure balanced through the budget money distribution. Now, let's talk economy. And you can see how this is basically mirroring different parts of the real world, except in its own way in the game. But politics, economy, war, jobs, it's mirroring all of that. So it could make for rather interesting and fun gameplay and give you the opportunity to really, take advantage of the world if you have a high ambition or even just, whatever level you're on. Anyway, let's talk economy. Aside from the opportunity to buy in-game items from other players, there's an increasing number of features encouraging spending Ertha tokens in the game for unique items, social status show-off, and packages for faster advancement in the game. Different types of purchases have diverse effects on the game. First of all, there are permanent virtual assets like extra property slots, exclusive products, blueprints, private jets, and others. Once players buy them, they're theirs for good. Another type of purchases are temporary services, such as protection from assault, temporary boosters, which once bought have a meaningful yet temporary effect. Moreover, fast forwarding allows you to skip waiting times when traveling, working, etc. for Ertha tokens. Then last but not least, social show-off features like 1 to 3 symbol nicknames or exclusive architecture mentions have an indirect effect on the gameplay. It allows players to display their wealth. Since all of the premium features can be bought only for Ertha tokens, the demand and value for the Ertha token is increased. Ertha digital and real trading cards will be implemented into the game. Collecting them will yield players various rewards. Digital Ertha cards will represent different assets that players have in the game. Physical cards then will be bought for Ertha tokens, traded between players, and used to play Ertha collecting card game. It's similar to Magic the Gathering. So I hope you're getting a good sense, a good overview of what Ertha is. This is just a taste. If you wish to play, if you wish to participate, or even just learn more and find out even more specifics on specifics, I'm going to leave a bit.ly link in the description to their main website. Click the bit.ly link in the description to continue to their website to find out more. Those of you already in the Metaverse, let me know your thoughts on this project. Maybe if you've played it already, or maybe compared to Decentraland, or maybe if you've played any Metaverse game, give me your thoughts below, because this is such a new and emerging thing, and we're seeing, which games are going to gain usership and favor. They've obviously got to be fun. If they're play to earn games, they've obviously got to earn you tokens. It's all sorts of stuff, and we're at the very beginning of this. Anyways, this was Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Thank you, Ertha, for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you tomorrow.